All right. Hello, everybody. What day is this? Tuesday. Hi, guys. Hey, everyone. It is Tuesday. I gotta look at my date here. Oh my gosh. May the 9th. Unbelievable, hey? It's crazy when you think about it's already well into May. I don't know. Time is a funny thing for me for sure. So I'm hoping everybody out there is well today. I've got sort of a theme going on this month, and that theme is resilience. So if you're on my email newsletter, you'll notice that the topic of this month's emails will have a lot to do with resilience and bouncing back from the stresses and strains of life, all things that are really applicable when you're dealing with your gut health, right? Because resilience is, maybe not something that you feel like you really, really possess. So today I'm here to talk about a really big myth that often we hold. And I want to bust this myth today because it will really support you on your journey, especially mindset, things like that, things that could be holding you back from getting to the goals that you're looking for when it comes to your gut health. Often when you hear high achieving women talk about, getting a handle on their bloating and other embarrassing gut symptoms, you hear them say things like, well, if you want it enough, you'll make it happen, right? I mean, high achieving women like us are used to wanting something, going for it, and making it happen. Am I right? I know for me, I've always had huge dreams and really big goals. It's just the way that I am, right? I've always been pretty capable. I've been very motivated, very driven. It's the kind of person that I am. If there was something I wanted, I would literally just go get it. And honestly, I'd usually get whatever it was that I was working towards eventually. But then little by little, as life just keep happening, my stresses kept increasing. Then along came, the bloating, the gas, the indigestion, all the gut symptoms, right? And then all of a sudden I was hiding under baggy clothes. I was living in yoga pants because I couldn't zip up my pants by the end of the day for sure. And then my energy started dropping, right? Then my motivation was all of a sudden non existent. Not what I was used to, not at all. And then my goals were quite simply just to get rid of my gut issues so I could get back to my life because I was literally not living anymore. I was just hiding away from the world. I wanted enough, but I couldn't make it happen. So, the thing that I'm trying to say here is that desire is not the deciding factor for high achieving women who finally put digestive disturbances behind them and get their lives back, right? It's not what it is. It's not talent, it's not luck, and it's not even genetics either, although those things, of course, do not hurt. But the difference between women who reach their goals and the women who don't is mental toughness, right? You may have heard it termed as grit, which basically it means taking personal responsibility and accountability for your actions. But here's what people get wrong about mental toughness. It's not like, you want to be a drill sergeant with yourself, right? And ignore your need to eat or to rest or to hit pause or to take care of yourself. In fact, it's almost the opposite of that. Mental toughness is more about being able to stay focused and determined when challenges pop up. And it's also kind of like having the resilience and the flexibility to overcome those obstacles so you can keep moving forward, right? Moving towards your goals instead of quitting when things get hard. So staying focused and determined, having resilience and being flexible are also the same very things that suffer when we have a compromised digestive system, right? So how do you utilize mental toughness when you do not have any to utilize? That's the big question today. Hi, Linda. How are you? Good to see you here. Yeah, it's so true, right? I mean, you want to have, resilience. You want to be flexible. You want to be focused. You want to be determined. That's all the things we desire. But when you don't have these things, how do you utilize your mental toughness? How do you tap into that skill that's so important to tap into? And that's what I'm here to talk to you today about, right? The big thing with women like us is we need to be able to ask for help, right? You need to get to that place where you can realize the truth, right? That you can't do it all by yourself. If it was possible, you already would have, right? And that's something I had to come to terms with myself, right? Just think about it for a second. Let it sink in. You need to ask for help. If it were possible to do it on your own, you would have already done it, right? You kind of have to be able to reach out. You need to take advantage of guidance from somebody who has a process that works, right? Who can walk you through that process step by step and who can support you as you move through it, who can offer you their strength and nurturing when you don't have much of your own left. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that it's about loving yourself enough to follow through on your self care and your goals. And following through in a case like ours looks like reaching out and asking for help. Lisa says, hi, Andrea. I'm so glad you realize our emotional state and stress. Yes, emotional state is it's such a big, important factor when it comes to gut health. The two are so intricately linked. I'm in a terrible flare even though I've worked 8 years on diet and yoga, and this has just laid me out. Yes, right? And those flare-ups come back, and they're such a constant reminder that we don't have healing, that root cause is still playing a part in our lives, in our symptoms, in how we can show up, in our lives. And that just, reconfirms to me that need to get a handle on that root cause and to find out what it is you need to do, right? And it comes down to this reaching out that we need to do. Literally, I know how hard it can be to ask for help. I get it, right? I've always prided myself on being self-reliant. It's the kind of person that I am, right? I don't need anyone. I can do it on my own. I'm good with looking after everybody else and not needing help. This superwoman complex that I've had my whole life. And I guess it's probably maybe from the need to people please or try to impress others or prove something to ourselves. There's so many different facets that it can be involved with, right? But we have to remember, self-reliance has failed us, right? If it would work here, we would already have digestive freedom. And it's not our fault. It's just the nature of our problem, right? Type A women, that's kind of how I would, refer to myself. But type A women like us with gut issues, we're high achieving. But what type A women also have is nervous systems that are fucked. Excuse my French, but that's the best way for me to put it, right? We're used to pushing and striving and putting ourselves last. And the result of those actions is that our digestive systems have just stopped working properly. So it's that trait of self-reliance that has ultimately gotten us into this place in the first place. And that's how the universe works, though. That's the magic and the beauty of life, right? It brings this issue to our attention in a way that we can no longer ignore, right? Our health suffers. We have these symptoms that have impacted us physically and brought the issue front and center into our awareness so that we can really look at the way we're living. And this is a piece of it, right? That desire to be self-reliant, that desire to do it all on our own. We can't ignore it anymore, right? Now our physical health has caught up with this, and it's brought this issue front and center for us to kind of, address, right? Now we need to reach out. We need to learn how to love ourselves enough to realize that we do need others, that we deserve to be cared for too, not just care for everybody else. A lot of you out there are caregivers. A lot of you out there are moms. A lot of you out there, have put yourself on the back burner. And the result is we're all here in a group called the Happy Healthy Gut Club, right? Because that's one of our big goals. So it's really powerful stuff when you look at these physical issues as really bringing to attention other things in our lives, contributing factors that have got us into this place in the first place, right? It's powerful stuff when you look at it like that, right? Now it's not exactly only just a physical health problem that we have to get rid of and deal with. Now it can be an opportunity when you change how you look at it, right? I always say, that all of our struggles are gifts given to us, right? Just for us, right? The universe with our name written on it, wrapped up with a big bow, because the challenges hold the gift inside, right? So, you want to know what I'm talking about? Well, it's like finding something that you can do, right? I'm going to tell you one thing you can do this week that can help you move closer to your goal. You can, continue reaching out, right? You're here in this group. You've made that click on the mouse to join this group and find a way to connect and to reach out, right? You can, continue on this path. Keep asking for support, right? I offer the complimentary Digestive Discovery Freedom Call here in the group, right? As a bonus for all of my group members. to help you get some clarity around what's going on with you, help you identify that root cause and all the different factors that are coming into play, with your issues. It's really just for you to get some clarity around that. And then you can kind of get one step closer to solving your problem. I mean, we can't address something if we don't know what it is, right? If we can't name our issue, we don't know how to tackle it. Because you got to remember, right? Gas is not your problem. Bloating is not your problem. Like irregular bowel movements or IBS, they're not your problems. Those are the symptoms. You want to know what the real cause is of these symptoms, right? That root cause. That's the answer for you finding out what to do next, right? So you want to commit to following through. You want to commit to getting something done. Book in for the free call now if you haven't already, because following through with those commitments that you make to yourself helps you, build up your confidence. And all of these things contribute to what I've been talking about today, which is that mental toughness, right? And if you're not ready to reach out, if you're not ready to book the call, if you're not ready to, post in the group about what your struggles are and look for that community piece, that's totally okay. We're all on a journey and we all get to where we need to get eventually when the time is right for us. That's okay if you're not ready. But try to do just one thing for yourself this week that will help you move towards that goal that you have, with your gut health. Maybe it's learning how to ask for help more at home or at work, with your colleagues, reaching out in your community, reaching out just here in our group, right? And remember, I'm always in the PMs if you need to talk and you need to connect and you need some support or guidance. Just do what feels right for you as your next step. But I really look forward to connecting with everybody in the group. That is my mission and my purpose here. That's what I'm doing, with this work. And just remember, connection really is the key to your success, because us being self-reliant and being type A perfectionistic types of people, high achieving, goal oriented, all those things, they are good. But there is a piece of that too that has contributed to the place that we are in today, right? Well, I can't say the place I was in, because when my gut issues got really bad and I couldn't show up in my life anymore, that was my time to say, that's it. No plan B. I am done with this. I am reaching out for help. And that's how, my journey to heal my gut issues started. And that's what's brought me here, with all of you today. So just remember, connection is the key to your success, and I really hope that everybody is really enjoying the group and getting lots out of it. We have lots of fun things coming up this month. I'm going to be coming live a lot more in the group because I have so many different things that I want to discuss this month. So yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying it and hope everybody has an amazing Tuesday, and I will see you back in a few more days with my next video. All right, take good care, everyone. Bye.